Do you find it a challenge to set your boundaries? We're talking about setting boundaries on today's episode. So, on this Let's Talk segment, our episode today is going to talk about setting boundaries, setting limits in your life, setting do not pass here, saying like you cannot trespass past this. This is what we are talking about today. So, and we are going to start with realizing, how do I realize that I have poor boundaries? That is something you need to ask yourself. If you catch yourself with these particular signs in your own life, then you have poor boundaries, okay? So the very first sign is you are a people pleaser. You really want to be validated by people. You want people to praise you. You want people to say you are a good person. You just want to be known to be good. You want people to say you are good. Like, you can go all out. Even when you're jeopardizing your own self, you can put yourself at risk just to make the other person happy. This is not the selfless kind of love, but this is the love of going out just to be seen, to be doing it. You are out there for everyone and you are not there for yourself. And then this is something that when you do it for quite a long time, you feel like you're doing something good. You are basically trying to help everyone else, but in the long run, you are getting depleted, you are getting worn out, and you find that you are really pretty a lonely person in the inside, because you realize the very things you're willing to do for people, people cannot do for you. This is when you start realizing that, why am I always doing these things to people? And why do they find it so hard to do it to me? Then you start realizing there's a twist there. There is a problem, Then you realize then you have a poor boundary. You have really not valued yourself to say no to things which really aren't profitable to you and also could jeopardize your happiness. The second sign that is going to tell you that you have poor boundaries is when you realize that you find it so easy to not make a decision, because you don't like conflict, you like saying things like, I want peace to reign, I don't want to disturb someone. You suppress your feelings, you want to suppress your feelings so that peace can reign. You don't want to speak up your mind because you want peace to reign, It's like you are at a point where you do not value your opinion, you value everyone else's opinion, and you feel like it's okay, let them do what they want to do. And even when you want to say, no, this should not be this way, you still want to just, let me be quiet, I want peace to reign, I want peace to reign. The truth is, the feelings you're suppressing inside, they're building a lot of bitterness, resentment. And with time, you become a very resentful person. You're boiling inside with bitterness. And it reaches a point you cannot hold it together anymore. This is now displays like your emotional instability, because now you start ranting at people or ranting to anyone around you. And that brings us to the third point. People with poor boundaries are always oversharing. You like oversharing. You just met someone in a matatu, you've told him or her everything about yourself. You just met someone in a taxi or in an Uber, you've told them everything about yourself. You just met a colleague in the morning, you've told him or her about everyone else. I want to say this because this was my situation for very long. And so it's so easy to realize these signs that you have poor boundaries and you really need to start working on yourself. And you overshare things which are so personal, your medical history, your things about yourself with people. You talk about your partner, you talk about things which people really should not be hearing from you if they haven't earned the trust, okay? You need to build trust with people, get to know them, then start sharing some of these personal things. And then the fourth point to know that you have poor boundaries is you have a difficulty in saying no. You don't know what to say no. You are always saying yes. So you are a yes, 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 sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, yes person. So it could even be at work. You're always saying yes and yes and yes to more and more work. And you know that you are depleted. You cannot finish that work within the particular time you have. But you don't want to say no because you don't want to disappoint the other person. You keep saying yes, so you are overloaded, you're overworked. This could also be the same case even in a relationship or in your social life, because it spills all through your career and your relationships. If you don't know how to say no, or if you don't like saying no, or if you find it difficult to say no, then it's a sign that you have poor boundaries. Because when you say no, you need to have an affirmed self to be able to say that I'm saying no because of this, that, and that reason, and that I'm preserving some of my energy to do something else constructive. So it shouldn't be so hard for someone who has established boundaries to say no. And so if you find it difficult to even tell your friends, your partner, your parents, your siblings, everyone around you to say no, even when you really are saying no from the inside. You could be saying no from the inside, but the outside you're just saying, okay, yes, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna send you the money, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And you really want to say no, but you don't want to say it because you have not valued yourself to that point. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about the last point of how to realize you have poor boundaries and you need to start working on yourself. Really is when you realize that you do not have any solitude time during the day. You do not like spending time with yourself. When you realize you can't just sit by yourself, like you can't sit at home by yourself. You're always like you must be hanging around people all the time. Your space has to be filled with some kind of action. You don't like quiet. You don't like some peace. You don't like some solitude. You don't like being with yourself, reflecting with yourself. That you need to realize that this is the point to start working on yourself. So this is our second episode, realizing that how to realize that you have poor boundaries. So in our next episode, we're going to talk about now how to set your boundaries. What are the steps you're going to follow? Remember, I'm talking about mostly things which I've been through. And so I know how best to navigate it. And I've really immersed myself into a lot of learning, because when I'm faced with a challenge, I need to know how am I going to navigate out of this. I brought myself to this place. Then how am I gonna navigate out of this? And that is also part of the reasons why I'm sharing this information with you, because I realize maybe so many people could be going through the same issues and they're not speaking up. And by me sharing with you this information, I'm gonna help you realize that you have poor boundaries and you need to start working on yourself. And it's not just about superficial working. This is deep working on yourself, because you want to reach a point where you value yourself so much that you appreciate who you are. Okay? Bye-bye, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this particular episode. See you in my next episode. I give this video a thumbs up and also share, just in case your friends need to hear this. Bye-bye. See you in my next video.